So, ScoMo, what happened during that week?
The week that Scott Billingsley slept the entire week?
Yes.
It was just chaos and pandemonium. I mean, just, couldn't keep the kids under control. They were crossing the road, baby Bengal tigers dying everywhere. It was horrible. It was horrible.
Do you have nightmares about this?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
All I have is read about it. I haven't really watched anything about it. It's emotional for me to just listen about it.
Yeah, don't. I can't even begin to describe the horrors, the absolute horrors that are haunting me that happened this week. I'm pretty sure kids died. I think a counselor got stabbed at some point. It was just too much.
I understand that you have cattle at home, and
That's true.
I understand that somehow they were brought to the camp, and I understand that they were, it hurts me to say this, that they were running around camp after dark.
That's true.
Grady and Dana got along. I didn't hear the arguing or bickering, and maybe that's what made me nervous and I ate more. But yeah, I gained 348 pounds. I haven't lost any of it. I'm no longer Speed Demon. I'm kind of like a really fast slug.
Can you tell us some things about that week that just happened?
It's hard, man. It's hard. It was a difficult week. It just imploded on itself. It couldn't be saved.
Jeremy, can you tell us what happened that week?
All these images just run together. Once Scott fell asleep, everything just started falling apart. Carter was punching Gentry. Stewart was tackling campers. It was just chaos. That week I was just serving as the men's counselor for Cabin 7, the best Cabin 7 that's ever been at Sooner, and I was teaching Bible class, and I was sports director emeritus, and I was official taste tester, and vacuum cleaner in the kitchen, and I was the lead worshiper / back row sitter during social hour. It was chaos.
Inner youth camp. John, can you please explain to us about how the mornings went?
It was chaos. They were everywhere. Tuesday and Thursday, breakfast. The cinnamon rolls just made them go crazy. Table 3, they were crying. Table 1 was holding strong. I don't know what happened to Table 6. They went to the other side. Table 5, no one's heard from them since. It was awful. Grady, still looking for him.
That seems like a tragedy. Can you please tell me how scared you were from the level from scary to scary?
Enough to run to the swamp and hide for most of the week.
Oh, really? Well, can you describe some of the players there?
It's pretty good, pretty safe. Nothing bad happened.
Yeah, so you want to hear about what happened. As soon as Scott fell asleep, the counselors, we were driven into the woods. I say that, only 3 of us made it. Myself, Rexanne, and Neil. We escaped past the ultimate frisbee field.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the campers stopped chasing us as soon as we crossed the fence. That night we saw fires. Almost it looked like it was engulfing the whole camp. We all used jazz hands to keep the smoke out of our faces.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. We heard screams, we heard shouts. It was complete pandemonium. We were, of course, thinking about the lives that we had lost that day, but we were also thinking about how to get back in camp and get some control and wake up Scott. But we couldn't see any way in. Roadblocks, kids with war paint, and You know, we were just stuck out in the woods, wilderness, had nothing.
So you said you had to use jazz hands to fight that smoke.
That's right.
Was it? Did you use this technique?
No, it was more like this.
Oh, really? Wow.
Incredible.
Why don't you go ahead and tell us some of the highs and lows of Senior Camp?
Oh, the highs. There are so many highs, we don't have time to mention all the highs. I mean, it just chokes me up thinking about all the highs. But one of the things, there are not too many lows, actually. Well, come to think of it, this year there was one really big-time low for me personally, and it really chokes me up. Let me get a drink of water, because this guy that is part of this is, well, he's a really good friend, and I hate to talk about this, but I don't know what's happened to him. I mean, Scott Billingsley has been so loyal to this camp. I mean, I'm just telling you the truth, Sean. It's just been incredible, and he's been a friend. We've worked together so many times, and we're in the trenches of camp, and just seeing what he's been doing lately is just really disappointing. You know, he fell asleep. And I'll tell you, it's very disappointing to me. I mean, you know, I had him, I really trusted him. You know, to me, it's indicative of just sloth and laziness. I mean, I hate to say it that way. He's a good friend, but you know, Proverbs talks about not being slothful, not being lazy. You know, I'm tempted to give him. You know, the Bible talks about a jar. It talks about ants, and you got to watch the ant, because the ant's always busy and always doing something. He's never lazy. So I'm trying to. One of the things I'm trying to be subtle with him. I'm going to get a jar of ants, and there's plenty of ants around here. I'm just going to hand it to him and see if he makes the connection between that and what the Bible says. I don't know. You know, he's a college professor, but sometimes those guys really don't connect the dots very well. Now, I do love him, and I would do anything for him. I may not even invite him back. That's what I'd do for him, because he's just lazy. And it'd be a hard discussion to have, but I think I can do it.
Well, thank you for this, Grady.
Oh, I know. It makes me sad, but it's the low. But I'm just praying for him. Thank you, Sean.
Grady King.